big questions we're asked is, what happens if you don't repay your student loans? Basically, there are two different kinds of student loans: private student loans and federal student loans. Now, different types of federal student loans include the Perkins loans, the Stafford loans, the William D. Ford direct loans, and the Parent Plus loans. Usually, federal student loans can be consolidated at a much lower interest rate than unsecured private student loans. This is because federal student loans are backed by the federal government, which means that if you can't pay back this money you borrowed, the federal government will repay it to the lending institution. This doesn't mean that you don't have to pay back your student loans. Unless you die or become disabled, the lending institution has the obligation to try and collect on them. If you don't repay your student loans, the lending institution will report your student loans as defaulted. Once in default, the status will be reported to the credit bureaus, and it will have a negative effect on your credit rating. Also, most lending institutions will hire a collection agency to collect the debt. Your loan holder can also accelerate the defaulted loans, which means that the entire balance of the loan, which is the principal plus the interest, becomes due in one single payment. Once your loan is assigned to a collection agency or the U.S. Department of Education for collection, the following steps also may be taken to recover the outstanding balance that's due. You may have to pay additional collection costs after your loan is assigned to a private collection agency, which means you're going to owe even more money. You may also be subject to what's called administrative wage garnishment. This means the Department of Education will require your employer to forward 15% of your pay towards the repayment of your loan. Wage garnishment is only used for borrowers who refuse to voluntarily repay the defaulted loan. The Department of Education can also take legal action to force you to repay the loan. If you refuse to voluntarily repay your student loans, you could be sued. In student loans, you could be sued by the state or federal district court for the outstanding balance plus attorney's fees and court costs. Once a loan is in default, you are no longer entitled to any deferments or forbearances, and you won't receive any additional federal student aid. The worst part of being in default is that you lose the ability to do any kind of student loan refinancing until you go through a payment rehabilitation process, which can last for months depending on who the lender is. So, all in all, it's better to pay off your loans. Thank you for joining us. See, the problem is, if you